Shelley Winter Show, live, local, topical, and relevant. So today, I posted this Facebook post. Let me read it to you. First of all, before I read it to you, let me tell you why I posted it. I posted it because increasingly I was going on my Facebook feed, I was seeing a large amount of traffic. Hold on one second. Let me go to Martin. Let's go to Martin. I'll get back to what I was saying. Let's close this out. Go ahead, Martin. Martin?
Yes.
Okay, Martin, go ahead and talk, please.
Yeah, just listening to the highlights of today's trial on, or shall I say, chat with Willis. She was doing her job. She was hired to take down Trump and his inner circle, and she did a pretty good job of it.
All right.
But,
great call, Martin. Great call. Have a Merry Christmas, my friend. So back to my Facebook post. So I was my Facebook, right? And I was increasingly getting troubled by the amount of anti-Muslim posts that I was seeing from just all corners of my timeline. And because Facebook is my primary social media. I'm not a big Twitter guy or X guy. I'm not big on IG. Facebook is it for me. That's where I started. That's where I am. And I'm old school, right? People tell me I should, put stuff on the others, but I just use Facebook. Maybe in 2026, I'll change that. But I was increasingly not upset, but troubled by the amount of anti-Muslim, posts. Get rid of all Muslims. Randy Fine, a sitting congressman, said we need to deport every Muslim. Tommy Tuberville, a sitting senator, saying the same thing. These are not random people. These are not random people saying that we need to get rid of a whole group of people because of the actions of a few. And I'm seeing this on my timeline, and it troubles me. It troubles me whenever anybody blames a whole group of people for the actions of a few. So just to put this in perspective, when Black Lives Matter was blaming every police officer for the shootings of a few, I pushed back. When I see staunch, hard-right conservatives say black people are criminals, I push back, right? I wasn't raised to believe that the actions of a few are the actions of the entirety of any group. If I was like that, I could say a lot of things, but I wasn't raised that way. So when I saw these Facebook posts, it troubled me. And then I realized there was an article in out of Tennessee of a white supremacist campground. And then I thought about Nick Fuentes and all of his followers of Groypers who say things like Hitler was awesome, right? These are hateful people. Patriot Front. All these white nationalist sites. I see many more and more it being more and more legitimized to talk about America should be a wholly white American Christian nation. It's troubling to me because we're not a theocracy. So I posted this. I said, I'm going to say something. I'm not in fear of Muslims due to the actions of a few radicalized ones. I am more in fear of millions who want to turn this country into an all-white Christian nation and believe their ancestors alone built this country, who hate blacks, Jews, and everyone who disagrees with them. They terrify me. That's what I wrote. There's a lot of comments. Comments came in from my African-American Democrat friends who says, we've been telling you this. And I'm like, no, you haven't been telling me this. What you've been telling me is that every Republican is a racist, which is not true. Then a lot of people coming in saying, well, they're not millions, it's just a few of them. No, it's not just a few. It's a growing number. And it troubles me. It really does. Because eventually those people will come for you. When they find out that you may be white, Christian, but your family got here a generation ago. You'll be next after everybody else is gone because hate has to be transferred. And so I posted that, and then a couple hours later when I was doing show prep, I came across an op-ed written by one Vivek Ramaswamy. What is an American? What is an American? There are two competing visions now emerging on the American right, and they are incompatible. One vision of American identity is based on lineage, blood, and soil. Inherited attributes matter most. The purest form of American is a so-called heritage American, one whose ancestry traces back to the founding of the United States or earlier. This view is now popularized by the Groyper right, a rapidly ascendant online movement that argues for the creation of a white-centric identity. This is a predictable response, one that I anticipated in my 2022 book, Nation of Victims, to anti-white discrimination over the last half-decade, and is no longer just a fringe viewpoint, which is what I was writing about earlier. Now, I had no idea Vivek wrote this piece. I was just increasingly concerned with what I was seeing on my timeline. The alternative, and in my view, correct vision of American identity is based on ideals. Don't you hear me talking about that all the time? Either you have an ideal, a moral principle, or something foundational that you stand on, no matter who does it or who's against it, or you don't. He goes on to say, Americanness isn't a scalar quality that varies based on your ancestry. It's binary. Either you're an American or you're not. You're an American if you believe in the rule of law and freedom of conscience and freedom of expression, in colorblind meritocracy, in the United States Constitution, in the American dream, and if you are a citizen who swears exclusive allegiance to our nation. And he goes on to say, as Ronald Reagan quipped, you can go live in France, but you can't become a Frenchman. But anyone from any corner of the world can come to live in the United States and become an American, no matter your ancestry. If you wait your turn and obtain citizenship, you are every bit as American as a Mayflower descendant, as long as you subscribe to the creed of the American founding and the culture that was born of it. This is what makes American exceptionalism possible. Vivek wrote this because he, on his timeline and on his videos and on his social media, was finding more and more people using terms like Jeets and that he should be deported and his wife should go with him and his kids, or all of this stuff. He was seeing it. Same things I was seeing. These are not Republicans, ladies and gentlemen. These are not Republicans. These are white nationalists, racists, hateful bigots. And let me say this. The reason why I made my post is because I know peaceful Muslims. I have friends who are Muslim. And they go about their lives. They love their communities. They love everybody else. And I wouldn't want to see them deported because I would be next. And I wouldn't want to see them run out of the country simply because they're Muslim. I no more want to see that than I want to see the white nationalists run out of this country simply because they're a racist, hateful bigot. I would much rather change his mind. That's the purpose and the point of my post. But it's easier for me to communicate with the Muslim who's not radicalized than it is to communicate with a low IQ, hateful bigot, white nationalist. 404-872-0750. 1-800-WSB-TALK.
Santa Claus goes straight to the ghetto. Hitch up your reindeer.